G'day from WA. Hi, this is Julie. Welcome to my channel. And look at all these goodies. Yes, I've been op shopping or thrifting and also been to our local Spotlight and the stationery shop. So I tend to go nowhere for a few weeks, and then when I feel like it, I just seem to just hit all of them at once. Yes. I've got a few lovely goodies. So I've got quite a lot of things to show you. Everything that you can see on here, plus on the table to the side of me, I have the books that I found, which I couldn't obviously fit on the table. Books and papers and other goodies. So I'm going to go as quickly as I possibly can to show you all the... I've got a thing about butterflies at the moment. I've kind of bought almost every butterfly I've seen recently. But these are gorgeous. I mean, I picked these up in an op shop. I don't even know what it is. Some sort of a broken necklace, I think. Piece of jewelry, but that's like filigree kind of thing. Let's see, it goes that way. Anyway, I like that. I picked these up. These are new from Spotlight. Just thought they were really nice. They'll go lovely on the front of journals. So I'm happy with those. I picked this up. It's like goes over the top of pages. But I just love the pink butterfly, but it's a bit too heavy to actually go on any junk journal pages. It would rip them. I'm not too sure if maybe I can get it cut off and turn it into an embellishment. And on butterflies, I picked this up the other day. If I don't really use it as a paperclip, I will take the butterfly. I'll get the butterfly taken off. But at the moment, that sits up on my little shelf here, so that if I need to clip some papers down, I can. So I've got those two butterflies looking at me. So they're cute. And then this one, I don't actually know what it is or what it's for. It goes around the neck, very sort of wedding-y. I don't really know what it is, but anyway, you know, all the bits and pieces can be used. You've got some pretty trim, but the butterfly is just gorgeous. And it came in this box. Nikki design for $1. Look at that. Lovely. So I'll just put all the butterflies in that little box and we'll move on. Butterflies, done. Oh no, just those little ones. Clearance, probably Spotlight. Yeah, anyway, $2. You can't go past buying butterflies for $2. Got those black and white feathers that I like to use, and I find them a little bit large. So I saw this packet of multicolored ones, and they're really small. And a feather stamp, which I assume was Spotlight. But yeah, they look really pretty. Looking forward to using those. I have my big, you know, like brown archival stamp pad that I'm using with a dauber. But I do like the little mini ones, and this is cappuccino, and so I just find them a really cheap option. It's $4 Australian, and I just love these little. I mean, I haven't used this particular brand, so I'll have to see what it's like. It's by Card Deco, a grey and a cappuccino. And on the same vein, I use these all the time. These Versacolor inks. I just use them direct on the page, and I've only got one red, so I picked up this one. It says Opera Pink, but I'm assuming it's going to come out a bit darker. I've got a sort of I call it nude, but I've got this one, but it comes out very pale. Kind of like a bisque, that's right. I was calling it nude. So I've got cinnamon, which is a little bit pinkier. And I've only got a really weird looking green. I only had this green, sage, which comes out a bit bright. Anyway, that one probably might be bright. They're very bright colours, so we'll see how I go with the new ones. I think these were one was $5.95 and the other one was $4.95. So for $5 I can get ink. They're pretty juicy. I really like them. And I just find I don't need to use a dauber, and I don't have to find one that matches. I can just go direct. From the stationery shop, I also got, you know, I love my gold embossing, which I've just been doing a bit of. So I thought I'd try for something different. I don't know what it would be like. We'll have a go one day, but it's brass. I just thought it might be a little bit of a slightly different colour to the gold. Might come out a little bit more vintage gold is what I'm kind of hoping for. We shall see. What else? Well, I was doing when I was doing my number stamping on my Margarete Miller, I mentioned I don't have many numbers, so I picked this up because I thought this would be handy. It's got the numbers, uppercase and lowercase. Let's finish off the inks. Archival Brilliance Gold. This is Suginiko from Japan, but I just loved it. It's really juicy, it's archival, and it's bright gold. So when I was back the other day, I had to return something. I picked up this Moonlight White. I thought I haven't tried white inking, so I picked up those. So I've got a few nice new inks. I got these at an op shop. They're actually makeup brushes. So I use this makeup brush as my soft brush for napkin gluing, but I forgot to wash it the other day. And I've managed to sort of save it, but it's nowhere near as soft as it was. But I find those soft makeup brushes ideal. So I thought that for $2, this set of brushes would be ideal for art journaling, napkin journaling. So you've got your little pointy one, beautiful soft. That will, I mean, it won't stay that soft forever, but it will be really gentle on napkins. I think a makeup brush is ideal. And then I thought this for splattering, and possibly the comb for mark making. Anyway, I think they're ideal. I bought 3 packs. I probably should have bought more for $2. I picked up this lace from an op shop the other day. So I cut this piece, this length off, and you know, you end up with that much, so almost double. And it's very thin. It's just perfect junk journaling for tags and things where you don't want to bulk up your page. It's super thin, but really pretty. I always like to look at the embroidery pack. I haven't looked at it yet, but because they always seal everything up so you can't tell what you're getting. But different colours of embroidery is always handy, but I actually bought it for the ribbon. Let's see what you get in this little pack. Oh wow. Okay, so you get a whole bunch of pink ribbon and then some green, pink and dark pink. Lovely. Plus a little bit of embroidery threads in the same colours. But the reason why I picked it was because the ribbon's so thin. So for tying a knot and tying a bow at the top of a tag, it's actually, most of my ribbons are actually double that thickness. And then this was also in a pack somewhere, and it's super thin. So thin ribbon, perfect. I'll make little bows, and you can also use it on your tags. I make my own little bows using, and you see when the ribbon's thicker, the bow ends up being quite big. So when you make the bows, they come out quite thick. So I'll be able to make some more bows using a fork, which I learnt from Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah and a few other people too. I watched about 6 different videos and then figured out my own way of doing it. But I first saw it on Tina's channel with Shabby Dabby Doodah. So, and then you get this. So look, this is slightly different to the usual, usual embroidery material. Well, I forget what that's called. I used to do embroidery. I haven't done it for a long time. And then, you know, Margarete Miller says instructions. We've got instructions. So, oh, and a frame. What else is there? And some card. Some card and some pretty embroidery. A face if you want to use it. And yeah, so heaps of stuff there. I mean, you can use almost everything out of that little kit, either in Margarete Miller or tags or junk journals or making bows. So $1. I just don't think you can go wrong with stuff like that. Okay, cool. So I'm getting excited about ribbon, but as you do, or as I do. This came in the stationery pack too. I got a few weird things in the stationery pack. $5 it was, and I got all sorts of weird mixture of things. But this paper, that V, I saw this paper, it was orange, and I thought, oh, well, that's a lot of orange paper. Could have done with that the other day when I did my orange book, my orange colour. But on the back, look, beautiful. Ready to go, ready to collage. Little squares, so that goes in my vintage sort of box. Yeah, this one of the op shops the other day when I was out with Mum had this bit of lace trim, so I picked that up. Purple's just always nice to have something different. These roses, only a small piece, but it's nice. And I got this separately. Came in a little packet. It was $5. I don't know if it was a bargain or not. It said it was antique. Now, I don't know that it was or it wasn't. It's obviously a collar off a dress. Now, the thing is, I can't imagine, A, it doesn't seem like it's that old, and B, dresses that are antique, which is like 100 years old, would be pretty rare. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's some pretty lace. I paid $5 for a tiny bit of lace, apparently, because it said antique. I'm not entirely convinced that it is, but anyway, never mind. And in the same place, they had this one, 50 cents for the stick-on lace, which is just obviously brand new. But anyway, bit of extra lace, never goes astray. This is a bit unusual. Well, not unusual, no. Unusual for me. I haven't had any before. I don't work with wallpaper. I haven't tried it. And I just saw this. It was $1.50 because I've seen it a couple of times and it's been quite expensive. I didn't get it. Oh, okay, it's quite nice. So I just thought that was, you know, in my current sort of style with the gold edging. Really pretty. Some wallpaper. So Mum, I know you were asking about wallpaper. I have some wallpaper. Okay, so yeah, got this for 50 cents. Don't even know what it is. Let's find out what it is. I think it might be a card. Well, apparently it is a card. Okay. Oh, I can turn that into something else. So some nice, interesting paper. Thank you. I'm not sure, but I can change the, you know, the label on that. I just see it as pieces that I can use. Ribbon, bit of ribbon stuck down. Okay, blank card, interesting coloured envelope. I don't buy napkins as much as I used to because A, I'm not using them enough because you don't really use them in collaging. But I picked up these. If they're really good, really cheap, and I like the flower or the motif, I think $2 for like 3 of them. So Mum got one and I got those. So I thought that was quite pretty. And I picked up these as well because they were only $1 or $2, but I like the lace on the edge. The rest of it's plain, but yeah, the corners are quite pretty. Picked up this pencil. I have trouble sometimes with my blender. I put the dark on and then I just find it's too dark. I'm not, yeah. So this is a blender, and so assuming by this picture, it makes it go from black to shades of grey. So if you don't want so when you're outlining words or pictures or something and you put the black on and it's too strong, I can go over it with this instead of, you know, acrylic or gesso, quick pencil over the top of the black and just turn it into grey. So that could be quite useful. At the stationery shop, they had their specials table and they had all these stencils. Now, they're all $2.50 and you get 5 in a pack. Now, they are really cheap and thin. But let's look at this one. This one looks nice. I'll show you how thin they are, but this one's actually not bad. This one's got some stability to it, so that one would stencil okay, but some of them are a bit really flimsy and unlikely to make a sharp image. This pack's actually quite good. Yeah, I like this pack, but you see this one comes apart really easy. So if you're trying to make a thin line for your tree trunks, it's going to be quite interesting. But out of each set, if you get 2 or 3 that you like, for $2.50. So a whole bunch of patterns, you know, patterns and shapes. Wow, yeah. So lots of variety now for my stenciling. I don't have to keep using the same stencils all the time. And then this was a pack in an op shop, which, you know, you often just don't know what you're getting. You just have to think, just take the risk. Sometimes I ask them to open it for me and sometimes they refuse. So yeah, more stencils. I paid $2 for this little oh, they're 2 the same. Oh, Mum can have one of those. There you go, Mum. And some paper, pretty paper. Oh, okay, let's see what we've got in here. We've got purple paper. We won't use any of those. Orange again. Of course, after you've done your orange and you can't find orange, orange turns up everywhere. Of course it does. Oh, love hearts. Oh, some nice yellow. Oh, wow, these are interesting because they're so... I didn't even realise I was getting all these different colours. All I saw was the plain colours. That's... Oh, I love the blue. Look at that. That's so pretty. Oh, wow, I'm happy with that. And then, yeah, all I saw was the plain colours. Nice. Oh, I love those. Love them. Picked up these from the stationery shop, which I probably should have got them from Bunnings, from my hardware store. They'll probably be cheaper there. But they were $2.50 and $3.50. Might have been a tad expensive. I'll probably get them for $1.50 at Bunnings, but I couldn't bother going to Bunnings. So I grabbed them while I saw them. And I just picked this up. $3, Merry Christmas stamp. I thought it was quite a nice one, nice big one for when we do our December dailies. And also from the stationery shop. Last year I couldn't find a corner rounder to save my life. I went to like every shop known to man and could not find corner rounders anywhere. And then now I see corner rounders every time I go to the shops. But I bought this one. I've got a couple, but I bought this one because it's called an inverter. So let's see, yeah, you can see that. It cuts the chinky out. So that'll be great for labels. Let's do a label. Maybe it'll be better when there's a couple together. There you go. A little label cornerer. Makes them all the same. Whereas when I do I usually use the edge of a circle, and it chomps a different size every time. So it does obviously corners as well. Do it this way. Tiny one. So I've kind of got 3 different sizes. So I don't know if this was good value or not. I think it is. You don't get all the pieces. The Sketching Studio. I mean, I've had these kinds of things before, not the pencil one, but you get pencils. I know I've already got pencils. We get a 6B, a 4B, a 2B, and an 8B. Oh, well, I haven't got an 8B pencils. You get 3 charcoal pencils. So it says hard, medium, and doesn't say, so I'm assuming that's going to be soft. So this is one medium. That's the unnamed, because I've got a strange thing underneath. It's been used, and nice to see someone actually using the stuff that comes into the op shops, because oftentimes it's like brand new and someone's given it to them as a loving gift, and then they've not used it. But the reason why I thought it was good, oh, you get this another little clip too. Handy. Like that. Some stubby things for blurring. They're always handy to have in your little container. But this hasn't been used. So the person who obviously owned this didn't use the charcoal sticks. So nice. Hard, medium, and soft. Okay. A little container to put them in. So that makes it nice and easy to just grab and keep nearby. So I thought that was super handy for $4. And this, which I didn't know what this was. They obviously just tested it out. It's like the lid. So you take that off, and it's sandpaper. So I assume that means, is that for sharpening your pencil point? If you want a sharp point. I don't know, someone can tell me if that's the case. I don't know if that's what it is. Or, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I got one of those, whatever it is. And what else? Get a little book explaining things, and some well-used paper. So there's some watercolor paper, but I'm just pleased that the person actually used it, because so many times you see someone gives someone a book and it's got this beautiful message in the front, and you can tell they've never even, and it obviously hadn't been used for baking. So then I found in this one op shop these scrapbooks. These are what you mean, Mum, when I say scrapbooking. Mum thinks this, but because we've never done scrapbooking with photographs like the way they do. So scrapbooks for me when I was a child were like this, and for Mum. So this is a vintage one, colouring to the paper, and this one I think is older. That is the glue that I used to use. They haven't put the name, but it used to have clag glue. Anyone my age, it used to come this little plastic topper and this plastic brush, and that's what we use for glue every year. Make a journal cover out of that. Interesting. But look at the paper. Awesome. Now, the reason why I wanted paper, plain paper and patinaed paper, is when I'm covering my Christopher the Cat book, when I use my A4 paper, it doesn't cover it. The A4 is too small, so I end up with a gap. with this I'll be able to cover the whole page and yeah, not have to worry about it not covering, like when your pages are bigger. Pick this one up. Look, it's got beautiful, this is quite thick blue paper, and it just seems so old. Oh, it's just lovely. And it's full of newspaper clippings from 1981. Most of it's about Diana, because obviously the person was going to make a Diana scrapbook and then didn't. They've even collected it up to 1997, so they started collecting in 81. They've put some things in here for 97, and then maybe they lost heart and didn't go ahead with this, making the scrapbook, as you do, because we all know what happened. So okay, so it looks like she started to choose where she wanted some items to go. I wonder what else there is then. So this must have been when she came to Australia, I assume. Looks like that's as far as she got. There's some more in the back. The Royal Wedding Souvenir. That, yep. And Souvenir of July 29, 1981. Okay, I'll have to cut out most of my musings on my Diana scrapbook. I don't think I can bring myself to cut up the Diana clippings, but I can. I'll be able to use that paper, no problem. While we're on paper, let's do this one. So pick this one up. It's nice and shiny in the camera. Interesting that it's paper lovers book, but they put a shiny cover. I would probably put anyway. So I just thought this was quite pretty papers. You know, it's a bit bright and colourful, but I didn't look at it properly till I got home. This one, it's just so. Now when they ask for graph paper, that's something different. Black graph paper with white on it. That will make a bit of, you know, bit of variety. Stars. Colourful stickers or bright stickers. Anyway, there's lots of things in there that may be useful. I mean, it's a bit modern, but look, there's some lovely papers. Pussycat papers. They're really pretty. So when I'm doing pretty pages, and it's just handy because it's just all in the book. Now onto books. So we'll start with the two sort of perhaps most boring books. I liked this one because, and I tested it out. It's a dictionary, so when they ask for dictionary page, it's also other language, it's also patinaed, and it's also small. And so instead of getting out, I've got a big dictionary and then you've got to cut it up. Basically, I go to this instead. I'm going to keep this nearby, and all I do is rip out a little page, and look, I've just got enough just for a current collage. So I just thought that was so handy and takes up little space, and that's just going to go up on the shelf here, so that when I need a little bit of dictionary page, it's just there. And then this little book, Speedy Metric Converter, obviously before Google, because I just Google it if I need to know the size of something. So look, it's all these numbers. So Margarete Miller, you know, when she says sequence of numbers, and yeah, any page, and a lovely matte paper, and so I'll keep that with the dictionary as collage paper. These are more so language for when Margarete Miller says another language, and look, it's got lovely text. When they do the German, they always do it in that lovely font, and the English is in a boring font. I wonder why that is. Oh. Dear Grandma, today all the grade 6s had participation day. We played t-ball hockey. I also made a new friend whose name is Vicky and lives down the road from Colin. Lots of love, Pelia Ann. P.S. Have a happy Grandma's Day. And so what I really like about this, and then she's written something in German, or taped it on. Haben du ein gut, grobe Mutters Tag, liebst Juanita. Kiss, kiss, kiss. What does that mean? I don't know. pretending I can read German, but obviously I can't. P.S. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Oh, so sweet. And obviously the grandma has kept it and slotted it in her German book. Oh, so nice. But, you know, the book was from this book's from 1938. It's got some pictures in. It's got German language. It's, yeah, it's a really nice book. No use, no ornament. Hasn't got a particularly nice cover. It's falling apart. So I can't really use the cover. You know, I'd have to cover it completely. It's not anything nice. So I'm just going to use that as collage fodder. Same with this one, although it's in better condition. Second German book. What date's this? I love looking at the dates of books. 1961 was a very good year. Yeah, so just a little bit more interesting for when I have to do language, you know, when we do languages in our Margarete Miller, because I just had the one book that I was using all the time. Well, using that Italian one and this German one, which, you know, will run out at some point in time. So now I've got those or other languages. Now these books I picked because I want to make an altered book. So I've got to choose which one I'm going to use. I like that cover. That's all in pencil. I can rub all that out. So what I'm looking for is books that go flat, that have got stitching, so I can take pages out. Now this one's got pictures in it. Normally I'd prefer one that's just text, so I don't know whether that one would be used, but I just picked it up because it's got a nice linen cover so that you can work on the cover really easily when they're linen, or linen like this. I think it's linen. And when they've got their dust jacket, they're usually in better condition. So this one's, you know, grubby because it lost its dust jacket. This one has its dust jacket, so it's in way better condition, even though it's still not new. So this is called Melbourne or the Bush, and the date is ex-library book that was going to be thrown away, and it was first published in 1974. Essays on Australian literature and society. I really just don't think anyone's going to read that. And it goes flat, so I think that's going to be my next altered book. Yeah, so that's a possibility. And then there's this one, Short Story Landscape. It's a little bit thicker, not good condition, so, but you know, you put lace on that. I can paint that. And this one is 1964. It has more colour in the pages. And the other reason why, if you have a book that's this size and shape and it opens up flat, it's sort of square, and so you make one layout. You know me and the Christopher cat, you know, it's one page and it's the other page, and then you've got to think, well, how do I make those pages match and look cohesive? Well, I won't have to. When I do my altered book for this, it's going to be one page. But before I decided on that, I had found this one, and Mum and I found it the other day. And, you know, because I see a lot of people doing altered books with Reader's Digest books, and most of our Reader's Digest books here in Australia are just brown. They're just dark brown. Anyway, so I found this one. It was 50 cents. Mum and I saw this and she said, oh, look, yep, that'd be perfect. It's really dusky pink, beautiful cover. So this will make more of a junk journal where you might want to make it a little bit thicker, a bit bigger. So I don't know if this would be I don't think it would be an altered book. You see, I don't like it when books do that. I like them to lie flat. I don't like this having to hold the book down all the time. And then look what happens. As soon as you do that, it's going to split. So the pages are going to have to come out to use this book for anything. So that would make it collage fodder. Oh, there's some interesting pages in here. So, you know, I'd keep all the interesting pages. I'll try and keep the front and the back. Anyway, it's a pretty book. Look, it's got a lovely gold edge, but I won't be able to keep that. Shame, but I love the cover. I think that's really nice. So got that the other day for 50 cents. Can't go wrong with that. Picked this strange book up the other day. $2. Can't use the cover. It's all, well, no. It's a shame because I love the cover, but it's in this, you know, vinyl plasticky thing, and it just doesn't feel vintage. Shame. But it's been made to look like an antique book. So the pages are lovely. I mean, I wonder if I can do something with that cover and make it not so plasticky. But it's really big, so you know, it'll make a huge journal. It's got thousands of pages. But all it is a big book of brain teasers and games of logic. I've had a look at it already. I've used a page, I think. But it's got these interesting letters. So that says water in the wine. So there's a puzzle there about the water, and that's a W. Well, it doesn't look like one. But yeah, the B's quite nice. So it's got a letter on every page, and it's got these weird images, which, you know, could fit some Margarete Miller collaging quite easily. So I just think that was a good Margarete Miller collage fodder. Any collage fodder kind of book. Heaps of letters and heaps of vintage looking paper. And we've got these ones. I didn't find any really good bird books or even any really good flower books. There just wasn't any. And I went to a particular place. So, but I like the cover. It's a bit big. I don't think I'd make a journal quite this big. It's quite huge. But it's got some interesting images. Let me just flick this way. Because I'm going down a slightly different path. And especially for my new altered book. So I just thought this book had lots of interesting colours and drama for like art. Look at me, look at that. For art journaling, you know, it's a little bit different to your normal garden flower book. You know, just something a bit more interesting, I think, for an art journal page. And so for an art journal page, you could definitely cover it with, you know, decoupage glue or matte medium. So I thought it was different to your normal flower book. So Linda Burgess's Flowers for All Seasons, quite like that. $2. This one's unusual. It's got the same cover. Obviously not very old. Probably the bone. Look at that, it's got an eye poking through the keyhole. Oh, that's so cute. And then this lovely paper, and then it's got these interesting animals, but it's the backgrounds. Some of them, they take up the whole page, but then there's a cute little mouse. So what year is it? It's not very old, I'm sure. 2007. But look at this. And it's not super shiny. You can tell because it's not glaring on the camera. And isn't that really pretty? And look, it's got a poem. And then it's got different colours on every page and then different animals. And these, just won't they look nice in an art journal? So I'm just so pleased to have found this because I'm wanting to do something a little bit different to your normal birds and butterflies. I don't know if I want to do anything quite that different. More orange. And then look, there's a piece of paper with a cutout already done and lovely yellow paper. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know if I like the green. But the animals are really sweet. I don't know if they might get used. Who knows? But it's, yeah, I can't show you every page, but it's just, look at the zebra. Zebra for you Americans. I'm getting Americanized. I even wrote Book of Colours without the U on my videos because, you know, that's how Cat Hand writes it, so you've got to write it the same as she does. Look at all the bunnies. Oh, so cute. So a really interesting book, really different. And then, I mean, even if you didn't want the animals, look at all the papers. I don't have any trouble cutting this up. Even though it's a beautiful book, I don't have any trouble cutting up because you look at it and then what do you do with it? I'm not too sure that I really want a book with a monkey, but look at all of the beautiful paper. Yes, so lots of paper fodder and animals. And I just thought that was something different. Now, because here in Australia, what I wanted to explain was that here in Australia, it's not that easy to find. Well, not in Western Australia. I can't speak for the eastern states because I haven't been over there to look. But it's not that easy to find really good books and really good magazines. They're just, I mean, so far, nothing's been able to beat Daphne's Diary for me, for magazines. So I just buy a Daphne's Diary every time it comes out. But I thought they had a bunch of people's friends, but I'm not convinced that they've got enough. I mean, there's a cute hedgehog there. There's the odd image, and there's a cute bird there. There's the odd image here and there that I could use, but not mountains of it. Anyway, People's Friend magazines. I'll keep it just so I've got. Oh, I bought this one because it's got Labradors in it. So if I was going to buy one of the People's Friends, this is the one I bought. Anyway, so what I was going to say was we can't find too many exciting books. So one of the things I look for also, you know, gardening books, yeah, but gardening books are just full of pictures of a flower and that's it. Nothing interesting about them. But these art books, now I've got a bunch of art books, but I'm emotionally and sentimentally attached to my own art books that I used to use and work with, and they've been on my shelf for years. I just, yeah, can't cut them up. A pencil drawing book that I've got no sentimental attachment to, that I bought for $1. It has some lovely images in it. Gorgeous. I could cut this up because I'm never going to use it as a book. And it's just got some lovely images in it. I'm not into art as such, or trying to, because I just can't do it. So, well, I can't do it to the standard that I want to do it. If you're looking in op shops, art books are a great way to find some lovely pictures. Oftentimes you get multiples of the same one, because if you wanted to have a boat in your collage, this one doesn't have too many individual pictures because he obviously spends a lot of time on one, but it's a different boat. So yeah, art books often have and then it has this tracing paper with images on it. So more Margarete Miller fodder. So yeah, I'll just flick through these, but look at this one. This one's got nice pictures in it. That's cute. Oh, I love that one. See, that one will get used somewhere. It's a bit big, but it'll have to get used somewhere. Oh, he's cute. Wouldn't mind a dog like that. So yeah, art books. That one's the same guy that did the other one, and the dog one's got a few in it. Sketches, you know. So art books for some, you know, variety of pictures to go in your collages, so that you're not just using the same old birds and butterflies or your same old digitals. I get bored using the same digitals. Sometimes it's fine, it's great, it's nice and quick and easy, but other times you just want something different. In the craft section, they have all the craft magazines, and look for anything that says decoupage, because those are the ones that will have stuff that you can use. And if you find this one, I found this one a while ago. I've used this a couple of times already. This one has, it says with 125 Victorian scraps. So it has the book, which is gorgeous, and one day will be turned into a journal. I don't know if I did try to film this the other day, but I edited it out because the video was getting too long. This one's probably getting too long too, so I'll have to cut it down. But anyway, you get the book, which tells you how to do it, but who reads that? We just watch a video and stick some glue on it. And you get all these scraps. So I've put, some of these are actually in the giveaway. These are the ladies. So I put some of those ladies in the giveaway, and I've used some myself. And then there's these other pieces which I haven't used yet. Fans. Yeah, flowers. So this one's got a mixture of things. It's got Christmas. It's got a hand. So if you see that anywhere, I got that. I remember I paid $4. Anytime you see decoupage, you're likely to find things a bit like that in the book. So a quick flip through. Now, sometimes it's stuff you don't want, and it is shiny, but the idea is that you're going to be using your decoupage glue, which you can either use a gel medium or... So this one's, oh, I haven't got the price on it anymore. Little Birdie Deco Magic Decoupage Glue. So you put that on there, it seals and finishes and dries matte. Or you use your gel medium to get rid of the shine. But I mean, they are very shiny, I must admit. But I'm getting used to it. Even look at that lovely lady. I'm getting used to it, even though at first I wouldn't touch anything that was shiny. I was just doing junk journaling. But this one's a really good book. There's a spare one if you make a mistake. And then it has all these other ones in the back. look at these. Now I've got these pictures in digital form on my computer because they're free images that you can get from somewhere, I forget where. But when I print them out, they don't print out very nice. They're very faded, and maybe I just didn't use the right paper. I'm not too sure, but I've got some printouts of these types of pictures and I just didn't like them. But oh, look, feather ladies. I could do a whole journal on hats and feathers. Are they gorgeous? Oh, I love them. So you just never know what you're going to get in these kinds of books. And so you get bits of flowers. You're supposed to make 3D version of it. Was it called Toil or something? Tulle? I don't know. You remember that when that was popular, when you used to make it and put it in a frame? I never did it. But you put the layers on and then you varnish them and then you make it into the 3D thing. But if you don't want to use that side, you've got this side on the back. And you've got these images, kings and queens in this particular one. But yeah, so you end up with this flower pattern multiple times in this book because you've got to make a 5D sort of version of it. So Decoupage Books, if you find them, I think these were 80 cents. Look at that, that's nice. Oh, look at these. Cool. Yummy. So you just know, oh wow, this one's got heaps. Oh, look at this. Sorry. I just grabbed the Decoupage books because I knew they'd have something in there of use. Oh wow. Yummy. Yeah, they're glossy. I know. Gosh. Oof. Decoupage books. What's this one? This one's Decoupage Scrapbook. Oh, okay. So this is like getting the whole book with all your decoupage items. Birds. Oh, they're cute. Oh, little paper dolls. Oh, these roses are gorgeous. Ah, oh, that was worth 80 cents. And this one then, what's this one? Decorative images, scrapbook of decorative images. Cute. I just like them because the print quality is just, I can't print like this on my printer. So the print quality is so much better than I can make, so I love it. That's why I like using originals if I can from books and magazines, because it's just, most of the time I can tell when I've used a digital. It just looks like a digital, and I just love sometimes using the real thing. So some interesting ones in there too. Embroidery. So something to look for if you can't find stuff to work with. Head to your op shop and look for anything into the craft section, and look for anything that says decoupage. Lovely. All right, we're getting close. The best ones I'd probably say. I did get one special one. I didn't realise how good it was till I got it home. So I hadn't looked at it properly. So I'll look at that. We'll look at that one last, whichever one it is. Poems of Childhood. Always look at these little books in the op shops. Yeah, it's new and shiny. It's got a nice linen. If you want to make a little journal, this one would be great to take apart. You could sand that back and gesso it and make that look old. It's 1989, but it's got lots of cute images in it. I like it. It's not too shiny. It's a bit shiny, but it's not shiny. It's just in between matte and shiny. Where's that one? So, and so there's an image on every page. So that was nice. I like that. I got this the other day when I was shopping with Mum. I buy a lot of Peter Rabbit books. I'm going to do a Peter Rabbit journal, but it's the pop art edition. So they did the cover in pop art, but it's the same inside. And so this is one, I've got loads of Peter Rabbits, but it's like, which ones do I cut up? Now, some of them are glossy. This one's not. This is matte. But I don't like the cover. I don't like particularly this pop art thing. This would be an ideal one for me to use to cut up. It's a little bit bigger than the original ones. So I like that. I've stopped buying too many of these, but I picked this one up today because it was like it's just popped out of the factory. And yet it says 1997. Hard to believe. It's so sharp and it's never been looked at, and like it's just come from the factory. But what I like about it is it's got lots of butterflies in it. So it's got butterflies on each opposite page. So lots of butterflies, some cute full page pictures that are really quite nice. It's one of the nicer golden books, I think. And it's brand new, so when I get round to altering golden books, that will be probably the first one I do. All right, I now remember which one it is. That's okay, it's that one. We'll put that to the side, do that one last. There was two of these. One said 365 bedtime stories, and this one says 366 good night stories, and this was the better one, so I just bought the one. It's kind of like from my era. First published 63, 10th impression 73, so the images will be the same as if it was 1963. So this would be a kind of book, I didn't have this one, but the kind of book that I would have as a child. And I have no emotional attachment to this one because I've got my own children's books in on my special shelf. And I like this particular children's book because the images are all small. You know how sometimes you get all these images that are huge and you can't really use them. But this has got lots of small images that can be used in a journal. So I won't keep this one as a special book. I don't even like it as a book. I just like all the images. It's got lots of cute images. Vintage, it's matte. The paper's lovely and thick. Lots of fodder, you know, so, you know, lots of stuff you can get from just one book. That's so cute. So many cute images, and they're not, you know, like scary. Some of the children's books are quite unpleasant, especially from the 70s. So that one I love, and, you know, don't mind taking it apart. It's not in very good condition. It's all faded. It's falling apart at the seams here, so it's not any good. It's an older book. It's a bit too big anyway. So this is the kind of book that's ideal, that you can guilt-free cut up. So this is another one. I don't really know why I picked this one actually, because the pictures are bigger. It's 1985. It's not even that, well, still vintage, but it's got some interesting pictures. But I don't know if it's got enough to make it worthwhile. See, I like that image. Make it worthwhile cutting up, because I don't like to cut books up if I only use 1 or 2 pictures out of them. I won't bother. I quite like that. Cut those people out. But they're very big. So it's got the Emperor's clothing story in it. I don't like that story. The Emperor's new clothes. I didn't like it as a kid. I mean, a man walking around naked, it was just like, an old man walking around naked was just like, no thanks. Anyway, so I've never really liked that particular story. Yeah, no, this is probably not got that much. I'm looking for a swan at the moment for my next Margarete Miller. Possibly using swan for S, but I kind of wanted a black swan if I'm going to do swan for WA. Oh, these were cute. I think that's probably what swung me over. It's got some nice birds in the middle. But, you know, the ugly duckling, yeah. I don't know. It's not in the best of pile. So we've gone from probably my least favourite thing I've bought to my favourite thing. This made the whole shopping trip. Da-da-da-da. $4. I had no idea it was this good when I got it. When I picked it up, I just thought, oh yeah, it's all right. It's an older book. I like the linen cover. I don't like yellow. I don't like green, so that wasn't great. How old is it? 1981. And it's nursery rhymes. So I thought, oh, that'll be fine. I'll just grab that. So I just had a quick look. Oh yeah, that looks good. But it is a gem. Every page has original old illustrations from the early 1900s, and the printing is beautiful. Yes. Now, Mum, I didn't know until I got to the end of the book and looked at the artists. These are all, you know, by famous people I'd never heard of, but Charles Foucault, that's how you say it, one of Mum and Dad's favourite artists, this card here, this Christmas card. It's Cecil Alden. Mum and Dad have loads of his paintings and books, prints. So each of these cards, illustrations, was a famous artist who did them originally in the 1900s, and it tells you the dates at the back and recognizes them. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? So don't they make wonderful journal cards? The worst part about it is there's double-sided, and then of course the other problem is, can I cut it up because it's so gorgeous? This is kind of like becoming a special book now because it's just wow, look at all the lovely illustrations. This one's an F. Warren. It's by Randolph Caldecott. Name rings a bell, that one too. I think he was you know, in the same vein as Beatrix Potter. I don't know. It hasn't got any. Has it got a Beatrix Potter? I'll have to look at the back. Painted by Helen Jackson. It's so pretty. Old King Cole. I'll go through the rest of this book, but that's it for me today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope it's not too long. I will try and edit out all of the stuff that you don't need to see, and so hopefully it isn't too long. But isn't this just a gorgeous book? Yeah, basically I just go to the shelf and I always look at any of the linen type books. There's just so many of these beautiful images that are just basically journal cards waiting to happen, and waiting for me to be brave enough to cut them up. Because apart from me looking at it, I can't see that anyone else would look at this book. You know, it's a beautiful book though. This is the house that Jack built. I still love that. And Little Miss Muffet. I still like this one too. And I like this picture because often the modern ones will do this giant spider, which I can't bear to look at. But this one, the spider's not too horrifying. Frightened Miss Muffet away. So these are all of the artists down there. So I don't think, no, there's no Beatrix Potter. There's like 1898 for Cecil Alden, 1904. Oh, here, well, yeah, he's a bit earlier than Beatrix Potter. Randolph Caldecott, 1881. Oh, is that not a gorgeous book? I'm glad I had something special to show you, because that, you know, otherwise I think, not that my stuff's boring, but nothing too exciting. But this is one to look for if you're looking for it. Humpty Dumpty's Favourite Nursery Rhymes by Dawn and Peter Cope. You know, you might be able to find it on the internet. Journal cards, that is, you know, so many beautiful copies to cut out and use in a journal, in a junk journal. Gorgeous. So there you go, Humpty Dumpty won the day. Thank you everyone if you stayed to the end of the video. Check out the giveaway video. Thank you to all my new subscribers. It's great to have you on board. And thank you to my regulars who watch my videos and comment. It's really wonderful to have interaction with the subscribers and people who love what we do and think it's wonderful to find an old Humpty Dumpty book or an old Reader's Digest book and go gaga over an old book that someone else would just throw out just because I like the cover. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.